My husband's irresponsibility makes me scared to have kids. What should I do? My husband, 27M, of 3 years, together for 8, is so irresponsible that I have a genuine fear of him burning down our house, letting our cats out, and leaving our house open for any stranger to walk into. It has gotten to the point that as we are starting to want children, I am becoming terrified of having children with him for the simple fact that he is negligently irresponsible. Here are just a few examples of how he has showed me how irresponsible he is. I once had to leave work hours early and drive 30 minutes home because he left not 1, not 2, but 4 candles burning in our house with 3 cats running around. He couldn't leave work to check and just wanted the house to smell good when I came home. Just last week when I woke up for work around 6 a.m., our front door was wide open and unlocked. There's a glass door that was closed so cats were okay, but that door also wasn't locked. He said it wasn't a big deal. To me, as someone who had nightmares about people breaking in, and he knows that it was a big deal. He cleaned out our basement by taking all of the cardboard boxes, just moved in a couple months ago, and surrounding our 50-year-old electric heater. Then argued with me why I didn't tell him to move them elsewhere sooner. That is in a back room, and I figured he recycled the boxes. He will also do minor things like leave the windows open when he leaves. Our cats have ripped through windows and escaped at our old home. Leave water running in the sink for hours on end for the cats. Plug power strips into power strips. Leave on all the lights for hours on end while he isn't home. Leave food out that our cats could choke or be poisoned from. He forgets to turn the oven lock on after using it. Our cats have turned the oven on multiple times from this, and multiple other minor things. I understand being forgetful, but some of this stuff is a big deal to me and the safety of us in our home. Not to mention running up utility bills an ungodly amount. When I talk with him about these things, he gets defensive or bushes them off as no big deal. He doesn't think the bills are too high. He doesn't have a job, and he lost it for literally being irresponsible. He doesn't think anyone will break into our home. We live in a big city and only have lived here for a few months. He doesn't believe the cats will escape since they like our new house. They have escaped in this exact way before. Since we have been talking about having children lately, I have brought all of these examples up as reasons why I am nervous to do so. He wants kids badly and blows up on me about how none of these things are reasons why we shouldn't have kids. He says that having children brings about a greater sense of responsibility and that by having a child, he will inherently become more responsible. Like an automated response. I'm sure that's true in a small sense, but with all of the irresponsible things he does on a daily basis, my gut feeling is that he will not become more responsible automatically. I don't think he actually cares or thinks enough about it. I don't know how to further the conversation and help him to understand why all of this is the main reason I don't want kids right now. I'm always seen or be nagging or overreacting about the situations. I'm not sure which route to go to get it through his head that while I love him, I can't morally feel comfortable bringing a child into our home at this time. I just don't trust him to be responsible for a child's safety at this time. How can I help cement this fact to him and bring him to understand that his actions do have impact on my trust of him and trusting him to be a safe figure around our child? TLDR. Husband is financially and morally irresponsible. Could have burnt down our house on multiple occasions. Leaves the opportunity for strangers to just walk into our home overnight. I'm not trusting of his responsibility, and he only sees my issues as nagging or overreacting. I don't want kids with him until he can prove he can be responsible for a child's safety. How do I get him to really understand where I'm coming from? Edit. Some people are mentioning ADHD, and I thought I'd clear up that he does in fact have ADHD, as do I. He doesn't take medication because he has bad PTSD from issues it caused when he was a child when he first started taking medication. To add, I also think he has some kind of CTE from years of playing sports. I have tried to get him to go to therapy or counseling, but he doesn't believe in it, nor do we have the money for therapy. Also, he isn't stupid, but he's not the smartest person I know. He's very intelligent in some respects, but as noted above, very incompetent in others. As for his job, he just lost it 2 weeks ago. It's not like he's been jobless forever. The job he had been working for 4 years before he was let go. It was a high-paying managerial position, and he was good at it. It was a one-time mistake that was against company policy and resulted in him losing his job. I think a lot of his interpersonal issues are a result of him losing a job he enjoyed and was good at. People at his workplace were very upset he was fired and even reached out to me because of that. For those asking why I married him and how I hadn't seen these things in the past, these instances have only really started showing the last couple of years since we moved in together 3 years ago. Contrary to what some people say in the comments, he does a lot of the cleaning in the house and cooks every meal. His job was a normal 9 to 5, and mine usually is 10 to 6 or 10 to 7, so I usually come home to a clean house and dinner. It's only occasionally these negligent issues come up, but it is enough to make me nervous. As for why I love him and have stayed with him, he is great at a lot of things. He is loved by many people and is a staple figure of growth and positivity in many people's lives. He is a good leader and good partner aside from the things I have mentioned in this post. This post only contains his worst qualities and doesn't touch on any of his good ones. I think he just really needs help, and I don't know how to provide that help to him.